What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome. I'm trying to put something up here, y'all. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Them-
hello.
Yes, 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 yes. Y'all, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Janet? Can you hear you?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me well?
Yes, yes, we can.
Good.
Yes, we can. So, you gonna welcome everybody?
Yes, well, welcome everyone this evening, this lovely evening that the God has made just for us. Y'all
Most.
know I go real religious on y'all in a minute. But, but it's the truth though. I'm just so grateful to be here. Welcome to Miss J Speaks uh podcast and talk show.
You breaking it. You breaking in and out.
Breaking in and out of
Yeah,
breaking out of something. Let me see.
yeah.
Yeah, it keeps on happening when I
But
use.
it sounds good like that. I don't know if it's muffled sitting on something.
Yeah, that's what it is, and that's why I'm trying to move it around a little bit now, because that's what I come to find out, that when it's sitting like that, it's muffled. So now it's getting a
Right.
little.
Now that sounds good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. Something just made me real tiny. What happened?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I made me and you. Yeah, we up there together.
Okay.
That's
There.
what I asked.
Yeah.
Okay.
There it is.
All
Okay.
right. Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be a very, very deep subject, something that we should all think about on a daily basis, because it's something that's very hard for most people to acquire, and that's forgiveness. And a lot of people say, "I forgive you," but yet they bring it back up later. So in all actuality, you haven't forgave.
Come on now. Come on now. That is
So
so true. That
it
is so
is
true.
very true. Forgiveness is something that is big in the world today, and it's hard for us to achieve. It's easy for us to say, but it's hard for us to achieve it. In order for us to achieve it, we got to understand it. So where did it all come from, and
Exactly.
why is it a requirement for Christians? And I'm not saying that everybody on here is a Christian or want to be a Christian, or but in some kind of way we're related in that area of Christianity, because we all talk about God. I see people on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, no matter what the case may be, they all incorporate God somewhere in it, whether it's a
That's
joke.
right.
But that's where it designated from, because God forgave in a most serious way. And if we want to be imitators of Him and get along with others, and we have to be, an imitator of God, because He forgave each and every one of us, and He did that through His Son Christ Jesus,
Sure
and
did.
He did that largest way. And I don't know nobody that will give one child to save a whole bunch of other people that really don't show no love towards Him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's what He did. And Christ constantly does that basis. So, and understanding that forgiving, people think that forgiving is just a word, but it's just not a word. It's a Greek word. If you go back to the original scriptures, it's an act of pardoning, like I pardon you, I forgive you, or offender, a ceasing to feel resentment toward him or her because of something that, of giving up of all claims, or something that somebody may have said to you, or something somebody may have done.
Right.
That's where the Greek word is term is called thema. I want to say it's spelled Phiemi. It literally means to let go. So when I think about words, I always go back to the original scriptures, not to the New World Translation. I want the original writings. And what do they mean? Not since, man has went forward and put it all in English terms, but when they was writing paper that couldn't hold up, that crumble,
Mm-hmm.
when they used to have to take the pen and dip it in something and do
Yes.
this. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I go all the way back there. But according to, if we want to be forgiven, we have to learn to forgive, y'all. And to forgive is not to bring it back up again. If any point in time you told somebody that you forgive them, but yet in a situation came about and you brought it back to the forefront,
Again.
then you truly forgive. That's
Yeah.
just like somebody said, "Well, I quit smoking cigarettes, girl. I quit smoking cigarettes 5 months ago. I just had one last night." Well, you didn't never quit.
Right.
You
Exactly.
took a break, is what you did.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So that's
Mm-hmm.
what we got to understand, that when we forgive, it goes beyond that
Mm-hmm.
moment. It's something that is everlasting. It says that when I read in the scriptures, it says that Jehovah gives and forgives in a large way, and is indicated by Jesus' illustration of the prodigal son. I don't know if any of y'all know that story about the prodigal son, of how he strayed away from, his spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about those two. Just say, is to put it in today's term, to say
Okay.
you have uh, uh, brought both of your kids up, your beautiful daughters, and your son, and
Mm-hmm.
you gave them the best that you can,
Exactly.
prayed so much for them. But then when you say, well, this is I saved this for you, I've been putting this in savings for you, get to a certain point in your life, this is what you're gonna start your life off with. But that one child, the son or the daughter says, well, I want that now. I don't want to wait till I get, what I
Okay.
save, I have it put back for you. But they took it and you said, well, I saved it for you. Here you go. And they took it. All that, it's long time, a long time to save up money nowadays, and put things back for our kids. But
Right.
yet saved it for that one, so you gave it to them and you're hoping that they do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that one took that money and they squandered everything. They just wasted it and threw it away, bought fashionable clothes, shoes, cars, jewelry, drinking, partying. And then guess what they did? They didn't have no more money. What they do? They came back
Came back.
to the mama and said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I did that. I know you spent 20 years of my life that. What is that mom supposed to do?
Exactly.
Is she supposed to harbor that injury? Or is she supposed to forgive that child? So that's something to think about.
Yes, it is.
That's what forgiveness is all about. Forgiveness is not prompted by uh, a sentimentally, for it does not leave notorious acts unpunished, but at the same time, it's a lesson to be learned in it. Forgiveness don't mean that you condole what the person did. It doesn't mean that since you forgave them, you're condoling what they did.
Okay.
It means that you're not going to hold on to their mistake or their choice because
Mm-hmm.
they're human imperfection. And see, and that's what we all got to realize, that we're all human, we're all
Mm-hmm.
perfect, and we're bound to offend someone,
Yes.
somewhere in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to be forgiving. And it's actually, if any of ones that read their Bibles and things like that, it is a requirement uh, for Christians to seek that, receiving forgiveness. A person must acknowledge his sin and recognize that its offense is an offense against God. So, in a turn, Angela, a lot of people think that they take it personal, but it's really the things that we do in life is really not about us.
Okay.
It's about Him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really not offending you as you would take it to be. It's offending because we're not walking in those steps that He sacrificed His Son's life to teach us how to walk. So who is it? It's offending God. They're like, you still doing this stuff? And
Okay.
you gave your
Mm-hmm.
son to suffer,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
who should be offended here? God should be offended here, and that's who is offended more so. But
Exactly.
people take a lot of things real serious, and so but it's not over and done with because we struggle with forgiveness, and sometimes people can you know do some things to you that hurt very very deeply. You said, I ain't never gonna forgive that.
Yes. Yeah.
You know that's a deep deep way of thinking. It's not a good healthy way. And your makeup is beautiful, Angela.
Oh, thank you.
You look gorgeous. Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you. When I tell you I threw it together, I threw it together. I'm trying to
You,
tell you.
you threw it? No, you didn't
Yes, I
throw
did.
that. You took
I
some time.
did. You should have saw me, girl. Oh, Jesus.
Man, y'all got to get
Mm-hmm.
her out. I don't mean to jump off the subject, but her
That's okay.
eyes just caught me. And I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all better go check
Thank
out
you.
Miss Angela Johnson. She does it all.
Thank you.
She
Thank
built
you.
websites and everything. She do makeup. Oh, come on. She don't just do
It's something
like
else.
get out here and do makeup. No, she's a professional. She's a makeup artist. So it's a difference. It's a difference. She can teach you something. So it's proper that in order for us to be forgiven for the things that we do, because we're imperfect and we're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna make bad choices. If we
Can I say something?
yes,
Because I don't want to forget it. Because I'm 60 now. I be forgetting stuff.
uh-uh.
I told y'all how I'll be very transparent. Um, because Janet, you and I had planned, like a month or two to go to do this. You got sick and everything, so we decided to revisit this and do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I was thinking today, I said, well, I know how I've always told my viewers I'd be very transparent. I'm going to be very transparent about something about when it comes to forgiveness.
Okay.
That's why when you when you said that I threw my hand up because I what you said I felt guilty. Um, I was one of those ones. I had something that happened to me. I'm just going. My kid's father did something to me very, very hard, and it was to the point um, where I would literally, as we separated stuff, I would literally lay in the bed and be trying to think of who I can get to kill him.
Oh my goodness.
I'll be very honest. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
yeah, yeah, I understand.
because that was that kind of hurt you was talking about, that kind of hurt. And but then after a while I started thinking, I said, now as weeks now I was doing thinking about this weeks. So as weeks went on, I started saying to myself, now I was thinking about this every night I lay down. And I was starting thinking to myself, I said, well, Lord, you know what, please take this feeling from me. See, because after all, that's somebody's child. That's somebody's child. That's my kid's father. And I know if there's anything like this happen, I'm going to jail. So of course the feelings started leaving me. And it was couple years, I was about 5, 6, 7 years afterwards. We was on a phone call. And just taught us, talk about the kids and all. And I just came right out in the blue. I said, I forgive you. And he
Oh,
didn't know what I was talking about. But see, it had to be like 4 or 5, maybe 6 years after that terrible incident happened and just left. I was just so distraught, y'all. I was.
yeah.
And he was like, what are you talking about? I said, I forgive you. I said, I forgive you for what you done to me and how you treated me. And I got to tell y'all this. When I finally said those words out, it felt just like uh, something had been released from me
That's what I'm talking about.
when I did that, because I was harboring. I'm walking around. Oh gosh, I
Yeah,
can't forgive me. I can't explain it to y'all. I was walking around harboring these feelings, but when I finally said it, God got me to the point where I knew it was time to
let it
let
go.
go.
Yep. And
I knew it was time to let go, but I held on it. But see, my grandmama used to tell me, when people be holding on and don't want to forgive you, that goes into your body. It reacts to your body just like a cancer does. It sits there and it festers in it. And so that's what was going on with me. That's what was going on with me. It just kept festering. I mean, I was getting so mad to him. I bring his name up. Literally just about getting sick to my stomach. But that day on that conversation, it was time. And I said it right now in the blue, just cut right across whatever what he was saying. That's about the children. And I
yeah,
said, you know what? I forgive you. And he was like, what are you talking about? I said, I forgive you for what you did to me and how you treated me. I forgive you.
because
And
when
I'm telling y'all, that was the best thing I could have ever done.
you harbor injury like that, and I know I've been there too.
Mm-hmm.
You harbor injury, you're allowing the person that caused the pain to continue to hold the power over you.
See? Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Hold the power. When you forgave, you took the power back.
I'm
You
telling y'all, it felt just like something had just
stopped.
came. And you're right. You're right. Because see, this is where the power comes in there. Remember, I just said whenever somebody would bring his name up, I would literally feel like I get sick to the stomach. See, that's power
Yeah.
right there. And that's
Yeah.
right. Okay. Yeah, well, that's what was going on here.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
didn't look at that. I'm telling you, when you said God came to you and showed you how to do that,
I had
because
to do it.
that's and you forgive freely. That's how
Mm-hmm.
you forgive people, but you can forgive freely. It's a difference between forgiving and forgiving freely. Because you freely did that. No one had to push
Right.
arm and do it, and you
Exactly.
heart. That's from your heart, and you ain't going back to that. You're not going to
Mm-mm.
give that power no more. You're not
Mm-mm.
more because that, like my mom used to always tell you, what don't kill you makes you strong.
Make
It
you stronger.
makes you strong.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
makes you strong in the faith that you don't even know you really have. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yep.
the only one that can do it was God. And he
Yep.
tells in Luke He says, pay attention to yourself. If a brother commits a sin, rebuke him. And if he repents, forgive him. Even if he sins 7 times, he says, a day again. If he comes back 7 times, I repent, you must forgive him. But what I really love is it tells us all. It says, continue putting up with one another and forgiving one another freely. Freely. That's right there. Even
That's
if anyone calls for complaint against you, meaning that even if they wrong, even if you know they wrong, they know they wrong. It says, just as Jehovah freely forgave you, you must also do the same. So when we think about not forgiving people and we're holding that injury, think about
what I was doing.
daily how we sin. Think about daily how our minds go places they shouldn't. Think about stuff. I mean, daily. I know because my grandbaby, like I think about getting. See, I have it's a trauma. When I got hit with that car, and flipped this, I keep flashing, thinking about what my grandbaby would have been. When I think
Right.
about that, it makes me have bad thoughts. What you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
At this car. So we have to always, meditate on not just what we know we are doing, because there's so many times we sin, offend him on the daily basis, on the daily basis, not only with our actions, not only with our words, but with our thoughts. Our thoughts. See, he sees all that, and it's very offensive to him, and yet he still forgives us.
Forgives us.
I am his, you know, the most powerful. It's just something to think about, friends, that we have to really think about being forgiven. If we want to forgive, we have to be forgiving ourselves. If we want to be forgiven, we have to forgive. We got to keep on putting up, because as long as this world is lasting, we all imperfect. And
Mm-hmm.
in life, you offending somebody else, and sometimes you may not even know you offend somebody. You don't have a
Yeah.
people start withdrawing away from you, and you don't even know
Don't
why.
even. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
something you done said, didn't know, or did, or even looked,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That
and
is so true.
you see what I'm saying?
But
And
what
so,
do you? But what do you do? What do you do with something like that happen? And if I've done something to offend you, Janet, and I apologize to you and ask you for your forgiveness, and you don't do that.
well, then you have released it. It's no longer your. That's you're not held accountable for that. But the person that is not forgiving now, they have took that burden. Now they're held accountable, because it says right there in Luke 17:3 and 4, it says, even if he sins 7 times a day against you and comes back to you 7 times, saying, I'm sorry, it says you must forgive. So it's mandatory we forgive. It's not even it's not even a clause that, no, that person did something so bad, he killed your baby.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say that. It says if he does it 7 times, that was just a figure of speech.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It could be 7,000 times a day, and you still have to forgive it,
Have to forgive
because
it.
it's only one God, and there's billions, gazillions of people on earth that offend him daily by saying things like this: God took my baby.
Yeah, I hear people say that.
You are offending God, but yet he still forgives, because he know that you don't know no better.
Mhm.
Jesus on the stake, his father, our heavenly father, was very angry how they were doing his son, even though he knew they were going to murder him. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But what did Jesus do when Jehovah got so angry that he held the whole city black for like 7 days? They couldn't see nothing.
Mm.
Tearing up stuff. Thunder was coming from everywhere. He was getting ready to destroy some humans. You understand me?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
what did Jesus say when he was on that stake? When they had Jesus pent up like that, what did Jesus say? He said, forgive them, Father, for they know
No,
not.
not what they do.
He knew that they was killing him for a crime that he didn't even commit.
Didn't
But
even commit.
he was forgiven. How can you, as a good for nothing slave, a sinful human, not forgive somebody else if they trust?
That makes sense. That
Yeah,
make in my research, when I found out that it's two types of forgiveness, giving it two types of forgivenesses. One of them is a false forgiveness, and the other one is a true forgiveness.
that's that free one.
That's the free one.
Yep, that's the free one.
That's the true one, right?
Yep, that's the true one.
That's when nobody got to force you to.
Yep,
Okay, go on
that
now.
came, that came.
Nobody got to force you to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the false forgiveness is a counterfeit, fake forgiveness, provision granted from a place of fear or ego. So, so the difference
That,
between
that,
truth,
that's not a real forgiveness.
exactly,
Yeah, even if
exactly,
you bring it back and say, like you keep bringing stuff back, you ain't forgave that person. Even if you, the person, say, okay, just like it can be a false forgiveness. Somebody say, forgive me, but they don't really mean it. You could be a false one by saying, okay, I accept you, but you didn't really accept it. So that could be on both ends, false.
yep, yep.
See,
So that's the fake one. That's the counterfeit one when people
yeah,
just doing it,
yeah,
just to keep peace. I'm just gonna go ahead and say, well, look, I'm sorry, so on. So that's the fake one. But the true one, the truth one is genuine. It's emotional and spiritual. Release that frees you up from the past.
that's right. And
That's the true one.
that's what you did. And that's
Yes,
a lot of people can understand why you speak to another person that that your family member know that they didn't did you so wrong, and you speak it to them, and you can talk about them and all that type of stuff. You can just have a conversation about, and they don't, because they don't understand your relationship with God really,
mm-hmm.
because you know how to forgive, and once you forgave, you ain't going back and getting that mess no more.
Exactly,
You don't live in the past no more.
exactly. That's right.
Yeah, you don't want no more of that. That was a burden. That was like a big old bag that you toting around as heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you even think about that person, that bag get heavier and heavier.
Yep. I went through that. I mean, what we sit here talking about, I went through that's the first time I ever felt that way. Because I got hurt. We did a segment on that was a betrayal. You see what I'm saying? And that was a deeply hurt there. And I mean, to the point you landed trying to think somebody hurt somebody. But like I said, about 5 or 6 years later, I had to release that. But you're right. That gives a person power because whenever somebody will mention their name, I would feel like I would get sick to the stomach. And that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah, it'll
I
make you.
went through that for about 5 or 6 years, and I knew I had. Then I just started asking God, please get these thoughts out of my mind because I knew that was wrong. That was really wrong.
So holding on to, we call it harboring injury. Holding on to it can not only make you, you know, mentally sick, but it can
Mm-hmm.
make you sick.
Sure can.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it can make
I
you.
just see that. That's what
And
it says.
I've been there. It do say that, yeah. So it's
Uh huh. Yeah.
physically sick, and people don't really know what's wrong with them. You got to let it go.
So that explains then, Janet, why you be seeing all this stuff happening in the trials and stuff, and when the people stand up there that now this person that took their loved one away, and
Hmm.
that person stand up there, I guess they get say something to the court, and they'll look at that person and with tears in their eyes, but they will let them know, I forgive you. I done seen trials like that, and I was saying to myself, wow, how can they do that? But see, now I understand. Now
Yes,
I understand how that person that took your child away. You see what I'm saying? Or
yeah.
your mother or whatever. And you standing there with tears streaming down your face in the courtroom, but you're looking at that person. You saying, I've seen a couple trials like that.
I done been on both sides of the fence. I,
Wow, Janet.
One of my best friends lives in Oregon, and we got to redo this segment. This is a
Oh,
segment I want her as a. She
we'll
was
do a part two.
Yes, she was one. when I tell you, she is the sweetest. I went to school with her. Me and her went to high school together. We clowned so bad. That girl she should have been a comedian. She would get me in trouble. I couldn't even act right. The teacher be wondering what's wrong with me. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's not me. I'm telling you, y'all don't see where it's coming from. Y'all don't see what's making me do this. Leave the class, Janet. We need you to leave the class. I'm crying. I can't stop laughing because
Yeah.
she's secret comedians. She was such a sweet person, never fought nobody. She never had a fight. I remember she was the type that was so like she wasn't scary. She was just real. And if I
Mm-hmm.
messing with her, I'm like, girl, come get me. Come get me. Come get me. I was one of them who would jump.
Uh-huh.
And she grew up and she was that same way with her relationships with, her significant other and everything. And a few years passed and her daughter was murdered.
Oh wow.
And it wasn't by a random person that they didn't know. It was by her boyfriend. And not only was she murdered, he called her up on the phone and he said, I just put your daughter out in front of you. So, so not only did he murder her, but he threw her on the sidewalk in front of her. Oh, Lord.
Mm. Mm.
I know I'm a Christian. I know I am. But we all fall short of God's glory. And that was one of my best friends. And I couldn't say nothing spiritual or positive. And I tried to think of something to say. And the only thing I can say is, girl, what you want me to do? I'm thinking like not the way I should be thinking. I'm like,
Yeah,
girl, because
I
that's why,
get it.
you know, I was like, I was always that homegirl that had her back,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
wasn't like somebody that we don't know. This is somebody we can find like right now. I didn't know what to say because I knew she was so humble of a person, but now your daughter is grown and she got a daughter. She left a daughter, murdered her, and then threw her on the street right there in front of her house. And she ran outside. She said, "What is you saying?" And she ran outside and found her baby laying there like that. When I tell you, I've been studying the Bible all my life. I was baptized at 14 years old, and I never understood humility. When she said, "I don't want you to do nothing, my partner, I forgive him."
Wow.
Took me to another level of forgiveness. And every time that I see her post on Facebook, and she'll, like when her daughter's birthday will come around, she'll speak of her and she'll say, and then people will say things like, you inspire me, you keep me moving every day. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so many people that said she don't know that she got a testimony out of this world. And because she don't talk about it, there's some Christians that just talk about it, but she walks it. She's seen him in the store and he was ready to break and run. She said, "Don't run, baby. I forgive you."
See?
He didn't do, I mean, I don't know if that man did 6 months. He did such a short amount of time that it didn't make no sense because if he was in the state of Texas, he'd be on death row.
Mm.
But she's seen him and she embraced him. And I know he urinated all down his leg because he probably thought she was going to do something to him.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I forgive you. I forgive." She said, I said, "How do you find it to do it?" And I understand because I'm a Christian and I teach it and I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't my baby that died.
Right.
You understand? We don't know what we're gonna do till we face with that trial. And I just wanted to know how she did it. I need to know so that she can help me. You know what I'm saying? If something come across me like that, how do you do it? She said, "If I couldn't have found it in my heart, then I would have lost my mind. I had to let it go."
Did y'all hear, did y'all just hear this right here? Did y'all just hear what Janet just said? Wow. That put it all in perspective.
She said, I had to let it go. And that's what the Greek word means. Let it go. Forgive means let it go. Give it to God. Because he said, vengeance is mine, said the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
It's not yours for the taking. See? Because there's nothing you can do to someone the way God don't do it.
Uh-huh.
And see, and when you sin, you're sinning against him. He is the life giver. He don't allow someone just take away something that he didn't give. So
Mm-hmm.
let him deal with it. But we are humans and we
Yeah.
are very attached to our.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said, but if I had not let it go and gave it to God, I would have lost my mind.
She would have lost her mind.
That's the struggle that she struggled with every day, her entire life, and left a little baby. She raised her. She's so beautiful. And now she has not only she has a grandbaby, but she got a great grandbaby.
Oh, wow.
Who was a pastor, and he just passed a couple of years ago too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so she's very strong. And I knew she was going. I knew she had something special because she's very, 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 you know, weak. Very, didn't have nobody, didn't fight with nobody. And I would have never done that. I'm like, this got to get that off. I heard something of it, but I didn't believe it through the grapevine. But when she called me, she said, Papa, you want to know something? I was in the lab. And I said, I knew she was telling this, but I said, no, this because people talk about stuff. And that's way back north. I live
Mm-hmm.
south, and I haven't seen her since we was teenagers.
Wow.
And
Wow.
she called me out of the blue because she got my number off of Facebook because, he said, I just wanted to know, we talked, like Facebook, but we had not met yet like we were back then. And, my baby died. And I said, oh man, I was I was rich, you know,
Mm.
because
Mm.
she had her very, that was bad. And she
Wow.
told me, she said,
That's humility.
yeah,
That's
that's humility. When she
yes.
told me how she died, that blew me away. And it took me to another level, made me dig deeper into the scripture. And now I understand the scriptures more. You know, he said, I have nothing but for them. They have real enemies to me. I was reading that in Psalms.
Mm.
Do I hate those who hate you? The psalmist, David. Do I hate those who hate? No, we can't hate those who hate, even hate God. We have to be forgiven like Jesus did. He said, forgive them. What they, when he said that, he said they don't know they didn't make a bad name with the most powerful of the universe. They don't know what they finna go up against. They don't have a clue. They don't even know that I'm the son of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
See, they
Mm-hmm.
when he said forgive them, they don't know because he knew because he was sent here, put in the womb of Mary, which was a fleshly woman. Am I right? And therefore he was born as a flesh. So now he knows what flesh feels. He knows the emotions that we go through. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
what he had to say, wait a minute, Dad. They don't know no better. He said the flesh is weak, but the spirit is strong. So he says Satan is stronger than they. They weak. The flesh
Wow.
is weak.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, we just they the spirit is 100 times stronger than we are. You know what I'm saying? Whether
Mm-hmm.
it's a good spirit or a bad spirit, they way stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing they have over a power over us is that we can't see them, but they can see us.
My
I mean,
grandma, my grandmother used to say, "Don't be trying to." As I started getting older and driving and stuff and hanging out and stuff, she
mhm.
said, now keep in mind now, that man that sit high and look low, he's seeing everything you do. He's seeing he knows your heart. But see, at that time, I still didn't halfway understand what she was talking about till I got older.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? Till I got older. But yeah, and of course I tell my grandchildren that now too, and my children that now too. I do that. But it's bad when you have wronged someone, and in your heart you know it didn't cross your mind. You done said something out of pocket to somebody, for an example. And
Mhm.
you know in your heart what you said was so wrong. But you're not gonna walk around, you're not gonna pick that phone up and say, you know what I said the other day? I was so wrong. Can you forgive me? See, okay, that's the difference now, in my opinion. That's the difference right there, right now. When I'm calling you and acknowledging what I said or did and it hurted you. But now I'm going to take it to the next step because I'm asking you to forgive me for that.
So even if they don't, you still gotta forgive them, because there are some people that don't even ask God to forgive them on the daily basis, and yet He still makes the sunshine and rain upon them. He's forgiving them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The wicked as well for the good. See, because He's forgiving them. So if we want to be imitators of that, and we need to in order to survive, in order to for our salvation, where we're
Okay.
okay, then we
Mm-hmm.
have to learn to do that. When people wrong us, we need to think about God. Wait, let me think.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the Psalms, as He says that for you, O Jehovah, you are good and ready. See, He's standing there ready to forgive because He knows you're going to do Him wrong.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
know somebody going to do you wrong. Are you ready to forgive? When you know they finna, you know without a shadow of a doubt they finna do you wrong. Are you
And,
standing ready to?
and it's sad when I feel like some people that we have probably came across our path and all that know when you ask for forgiveness, they know they need to accept it. But I think some of them will just, as they say, for the hell of it, like, nope, I'm not gonna accept his apology. I'm not gonna forgive him. I sure ain't. And to me, that's where you beginning you beginning to allow what's that word you said? How you let it sit there, and you just gonna let it sit there and keep sitting there because
Mm.
just for the hell of it, you don't want to do it. I'm not gonna forgive him. I sure ain't. I'm not gonna forgive he got here and cheated and had two babies on me. You see what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah,
gonna forgive him. But see, it's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to because it's gonna be to the point that stuff gonna be worrying you so bad you don't know whether you're coming or going.
yeah. Because when
Whether
you
you're coming or going.
a person is doing or have to, like I said, they have the power. Not only it's just that you have to realize that we're all sinning. So He's sinning, right? But then if you don't forgive, now you sin. See, now you sin because you ain't being forgiving. See, we have to do that. It's
Mm.
important for us. We have to be ready to forgive. We have to forgive, not just be ready to forgive, but it's mandatory that we forgive. Because if you don't, then you're
So if I don't accept your forgiveness, I'm sinning too.
oh yes.
Oh wow.
If God, His Son, forgave, I'll repeat again, when He know that they was piercing His side with spear, that they was putting nails 4 inches through His wrists and His feet, they doing it, and He says, forgive them. If He can forgive, and He know He's getting murdered, He just ain't died. They left Him hanging up.
Mm.
They
Mm-hmm.
His mouth every now and then was sour wine. Someone walked up here.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
He said, forgive them. If He can forgive all that, if God can forgive all those that, okay,
Mm-hmm.
they're not taking advantage of the fact that He came as a role model in order to show us how to do it. You know what I'm saying? How to walk in order to be in that wonderful paradise earth. They're still just doing whatever they want to do. There's child molesters and killers and liars and cheaters and this and that. They're not utilizing the example that Christ came and did all that for you, but yet He still forgives you. He died so that your sins for all men be forgiven for all time.
All times. I want to take this time real quick to say welcome and thank you, Miss Cherry. She said hello to us. And
Hey,
thank you for Sprinkler. Thank you, Miss Cherry, for coming up in here. You see the subject. If you feel you want to come in on the conversation, the link is
that's Karika. Hey,
yes,
Karika.
Karika. Uh-huh. I have to give her credit. Whenever she see us live, she comes in here.
And
She
she's
yeah.
a very spiritual minded young lady. You talking about a sweet young lady. She is so
If you
sweet.
want to come up, well, I see. Look, I said Miss Cherry. I can never get her first name right.
It's Karika.
If you want to come in and partake in this conversation, you're welcome to do it. That I can put the link. The link is above the flyer, or I can put it here in the comments. Come on in and partake in the conversation. We're talking about forgiveness, and I am learning something because I did not know, Jan, until you said. Now, if you apologize to me, and I do not accept your apology, I'm sending to.
Yeah, because it says that
Wow.
when you bring your gift to the altar, think about this. It says when you bring your gift, meaning you're bringing sacrifice of praise to God. Like if you want to say, I'm gonna pray to God tonight. God, please watch over my family. Da 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 da. But you got problem with me. You didn't accept my apology. You know what he says to do in the scriptures?
What?
He take your gift and leave the altar. No, he said leave your gift there. Go back and fix your problem with your sister. Then come back and offer you.
Wow.
So your gifts, your prayers, and all your stuff that you try to give God is not even acceptable unless you have fixed the problem that you got with your sister.
Did y'all hear that, my viewers? Did y'all are y'all catching this? Did y'all know that
Yeah.
forgiveness and not forgiving people is so powerful like this? Because I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't.
Yep. That's where the study of the scriptures come in at. That's why we need to understand, what it means and how important it is, because forgiving goes a long way. It says that we have to be forgiven in order to be forgiven. So if we want God to forgive us, we have to be forgiving. So if you're not forgiving no one, then he's not forgiving.
It's not forgive. What did look, my viewers? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? And Miss Cherry said, "I love y'all, ladies. Thank you,
Rika.
thank you, Miss Chick. Wait a minute. Let me see. Um, Karika.
Mm-hmm.
Karika.
Rika.
Okay. I just be saying Miss Cherry because I know I be messing her name up sometimes. Thank you, sweetheart. But yes, we are talking about forgiveness. And I know in life it's gonna be some times where we just be like, I ain't forgiving her after she done got out here and cheated on me, or I ain't, or you got your own family member that you're mad with because y'all done argued about something and you just not forgiving it. Do y'all realize how detrimental that can be to you mentally and physically when you
Yeah.
walk around knowing you need to forgive someone, knowing you need to do it, and you refusing to do it? Like I said, you didn't hear my situation that happened to me after 5 years of harboring it, and one day I finally released it. Just let the person know. They didn't have nothing to do with what I was talking about. I was on the phone just having a conversation with my children, and I just came out of my mouth and said, "I forgive you."
Yeah.
Like I told y'all, I'm glad I did it, but when I did that day, it just felt like something just came right up out of me. I mean, it really. It's about 5 or 6 years walking around like that. How can you do that to how can you even do that to your own family member?
Yeah. People do
Knowing
that.
that it's a forgiveness need to be done. And you walk around as a family member like, well, I ain't gonna say nothing to him. I sure ain't gonna forgive him. Come on. Do y'all realize life is too short? Do y'all realize that?
It's way too short. And God shows us mercy because he realized that we're just made simply from dust. And he's the potter. We're simply made from dust.
It
And,
made
so, and knowing that, and he said that you're fragile and you're weak, you're imperfect. Okay. So
mm-hmm.
understand that when we are holding resentment towards somebody else,
See, there you go. And there's
yeah,
a lot of that going on. It's a lot of people
fragile
walk,
and there
yes.
doesn't
Walk
make you
around.
no better. And then if you think that you are your all these the big churchgoers and everybody, and they going in there doing all that, but you holding resentment towards a family member,
Come on.
you might as well stay at home.
Come on, tell it, Janet. Tell it.
Because he said,
Tell
leave
it.
your gift there at the altar, go back and fix your problem.
There
Then
you go. He telling you what to do.
your
Leave,
gift.
leave this right here, but you got to go and handle. You got to go and handle this situation right here first. And a
Right.
lot, and y'all know, I don't bite my tongue. Y'all know that. And it's a lot of us that's gonna be watching this replay. That's gonna be tuning in after a while. That know they got to go and forgive somebody and have not done it yet. But I'm telling y'all, you need to go and do it.
Yeah.
You need to go and do it for your benefit. For your benefit.
For those that don't know the scripture, yes, Mom, you said it right. Yep, she said yes, you said it right.
Mm-hmm.
If you think I'm just being a philosopher, the scripture is Matthew 5:23 and 24. If you want to read it for yourself, because the inspired words is from God. He inspired man to write these down for beneficial for setting things.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, we know it's Matthew 5:23 and 24. Like Angela just said, he gave us the instruction of what to do for our salvation. He says, if then you are bringing your gift to the altar, and there you remember that your brother has something against you. In 24, he says, leave your gift there in front of the altar and go away.
See?
First, make your peace with your brother. Then come back and offer.
There you go. Make peace, y'all. You gotta make peace. I mean, and I'm pretty sure it's situations right here. Family members probably don't even, or co-workers probably don't even know why the person don't eat lunch with them no more. You see what I'm saying? Probably don't have an idea. The person probably don't have an idea. They're offending you in whatever kind of way, but you gonna walk around here and be harboring an issue with them.
Yeah.
Go and have a conversation.
Yeah. If a person don't know, like Angela said, have a conversation with somebody, because what you're doing is you're robbing them of choice. You see what I'm saying? When you don't bring to people and people walk around and don't know what's going on with you, you're robbing them of choice. It may be something that they can fix. The scripture tells us, be quick to settle matters. He said, be quick. He doesn't want us to, because if you get a little bit, you said, oh, I rub my feet. Oh, it feels like something scratching. I need to get a pedicure. But you keep on letting that pedicure go. Guess what their bad skin gonna turn into? Callus.
Yeah. Okay.
If you keep on putting it off, it's gonna get thicker and thicker. So when you don't tell somebody something, so you harm it on in, guess what? What's going over your heart?
Yeah.
I
can contest to that. Yeah.
Then when you put that house over your heart, it's gonna be hard to chisel through. God to get through. So we want to be quick to settle our matters. And while you are with him on that, in that same day, if you can, you want to do that. It goes on to tell us so that somehow the opponent may not turn you over to the judge, and that's God, okay? And the judge to the court attendant and get thrown into prison. So if you don't tell people, if you don't go to people and say, I'm sorry, or if you don't go to people and say, I forgive you.
Yes.
That's go both ways.
Yeah.
You got to fix it. Even read the scripture earlier, even if it's a cause for complaint, meaning it said, even if you know they wrong, you still have it's your responsibility
to fix it.
Because your salvation is at risk.
Exactly. Now, when I come to you, Janet, and I ask you for your apology, to accept my apology, to forgive me, and you don't do it, like you said, I have released it. Yeah, and I walk away from you and just say, well, Lord, I know what I did. I have asked for forgiveness and it was not reciprocated. So now I'm done. Now, but should it be that way?
You got to remember too, when you come to ask for forgiveness, it has to be free. It can't be just because you want to make the. It can't be well, I was the bigger woman because I went and did it first. No, it has to be from here,
from the heart. Exactly.
There.
Exactly.
That's what God views. He doesn't view what comes out of our mouth. He's not viewing our actions that you went. You traveled. I traveled 5 miles. I drove an hour and a half to get to her. She still didn't accept my apology. That's not that don't mean nothing to him.
Come on now.
Something to him. It's what was the motivation of the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Motivated you to go and ask for forgiveness? Was it love?
Mm-hmm. I get you.
Are you truly offended? Are you making sure you're not offending anyone? I remember there was a sister a few years. She's passed last year. Very sad. Me and her was very close, and but we weren't always close. And went to it's how I became a pioneer. Matter of fact, I kept going to the pioneer meetings and getting the privileges to be able to go and feed the pioneer. And she said, I had just I was just getting out of the service more. And she said, I'll give you a ride. I said, you will? Well, thank you. I wasn't used to taking rides from people and stuff. I always, my husband always provided for me to get where I had to go. And she
Mm-hmm.
took a ride. I said, okay. I thought that was so nice because she had never, man, it wasn't on that level.
Mm-hmm.
So we went, it was a big function and I was ball, because I love serving people. So I had the privilege to serve them, serve all the ones that are in the full-time service, in the full-time ministry, all the pioneers, auxiliary pioneers, ministers. And I'm cooking food and I'm serving. So I was real happy. Holy Spirit was everywhere. She came to a point that she was ready to go. She said, well, I'm getting ready to go. And I seen some other friends there. So I said, well, hold on a minute. So I went and asked one of my other friends. I said, girl, I said, what time are you leaving here? She said, I'm probably going to stay for cleanup. I said, oh, I want to stay for cleanup too. And she said, I said, okay. And she said, what you talking about? I said, well, I'm going to ride with y'all. You going to get a ride home? She said, girl, who you come here with? And I told her who I came with. She said, girl, you get ready to get in trouble. And I didn't know what she was talking about, right? So I said, bye. And I went back to the girl that gave me the ride. And I said, I'm going to stay here. And I'll see you later. Thank you for bringing me. And I noticed her face was like, she was like, okay. Her face wasn't right. So I went back to the other sister that I told. I said, make sure y'all get with me before you leave. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to ride back home. She said, okay, girl, but you're going to be in trouble. So she kept on saying that. And that wasn't sitting right with me. So I
Right.
went to one of the elders of the congregation, right? Because he's a real good friend of mine. I said, brother, I said, I came with one sister here. She gave me a ride. I said, but she wanted to leave early, and I want to stay for the cleaning. I want to be here to, till it's all done. And he said, okay. I said, so do you think I did something wrong by telling her that I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna ride back with somebody else? He said, oh, you know how that goes, sister old school. Who you come to the party with, that's what you think with. And I said, what?
Yeah.
He said, just like it back in the days when y'all was going to the clubs, you and your girlfriends go out, you leave, y'all come there together, you leave.
You leave together. Yep. Yep.
I said, oh my goodness, what have I done? So on the way home, I wasn't happy with that. So I started calling her, right? On her cell phone. And the other sister that I was riding with, she said, who you keep calling? I said, I keep calling because I want to, I'm not trying to say no names in case they, be me there.
Yeah.
So I'm calling, A, and I'm calling her, and B to my girl, you just deal with that another time. I said, no, 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 no. If I offended her, I want to make this right with her right now.
There you go. That's right.
You can do that later. She always be like that. She always got, she think everything got to go her way. I said, no, 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 I don't care about that. And the other
Mm-hmm.
sitting in the seat with her, she said, Janet just trying to do what's right. Just let her go and do what's right.
Exactly.
And so when I kept calling her, calling her, calling her. She kept hitting into voicemail, going to voicemail, going to voicemail. I got home. I was blowing that phone up. I called that phone, finally answered that phone. I didn't stop trying to answer that phone. I said, sis, I'm just checking on you, making sure you made it home safe. How you doing? She said, I made it home safe. I said, why you sound so dry? She said, oh, I'm okay. I said, no, you're not.
Exactly.
You're not okay. I've called you 20 times and you didn't answer the phone. Was your phone dead? There was something wrong with your phone. And I know by you being a Christian woman, you're going to tell me. She said, no, my phone wasn't dead. I said, so what did
Mm.
I said, well, you didn't do nothing. I said, yeah, I did something. I offended you.
Yeah.
And for that, I'm truly sorry. Because you know what, sis? I was only thinking of myself when I did that. I was only thinking of myself. I was only thinking of what I wanted to do, not
Mm-hmm.
what you wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think how it would affect you if you went back and then there was a storm. The storm came, it was pouring down rain. Texas rain ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? And I said, and I truly am not going to get off this phone. Because she said, I'm going to go. I said, no, no, no. We're getting off this phone. I'm telling you the God honest truth, this happened.
Mm-hmm.
I said, we're not getting off this phone until I know you're okay. I want you to be okay with me. I need you to be okay in general, because I would never do anything in the world to hurt anyone, especially not my spiritual
And
sister.
see that, yeah, and see that's me. Not intentionally. That, yeah.
I love you. And she just broke down and started crying. I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "You're the only person that's ever came to me like that. You're just so real, and I feel it in your heart, and I do forgive you, and I do love you too, Jen." I said, "Oh, sis, I'm so sorry. I should not have done that. I should not." And I promise you, if you ever give me a ride or ride with somewhere, I will ride right back with you. I would never do that again. She said, "I know, but it's just me. I'm just so sensitive, and I shouldn't be like that." I said, "No, I was insensitive. And I was selfish because I was thinking of what I wanted to do, and I didn't think
Mm-hmm.
we can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have asked you, do you want to stay a little while longer? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I should have introduced it to you as well, and maybe you would have might have wanted to stay a little while longer. And if I couldn't, then oh well. You know what I'm saying? There would be other times and going back. So you wouldn't, because it was far too, and so you wouldn't have to make that long ride.
Mm-hmm.
And me and her became the best of sisters, the best of friends from that situation. And so that's where it comes with forgiving freely. You don't leave someone injured. You know what I'm saying? You don't leave someone with a broken wing, and
Right. Okay.
you don't do that. And and I'm so happy that she accepted it, but she didn't really have a choice, because I was never gonna get off that phone until I know that her heart was okay. You know,
Mm-hmm.
her laughing and smiling, and I
Right.
okay. So that's where forgiveness come along. I didn't take it like arrogantly and say, "Well, what's wrong with her? She a woman. She know how to get home by herself." I mean, we women, we do what we want to do. I'm grown. I do what I want to do. She do what she want to do. No, you have to show humility when it comes to another person's life. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
We can't say that we are Christians, and Christianity. And let me straighten this up about Christianity. Christianity is not in a religion.
Come on.
Christianity is Christ-like. Okay, that means that you're trying to do what is right in God's eyes. Did you hear the key word? Trying.
Trying.
You're
Yeah.
trying. Everybody are different
Trying.
levels in life of trying to do what is right in God's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Mm-hmm.
none of us that are holier than thou, okay? Because we ain't made it to that point yet. We're
Mm-hmm.
trying to do what is right. And that's all we can do is try, because we're imperfect.
Nobody's perfect.
No, ain't not a
When you know
soul.
you're wrong, the
Yeah,
next thing to do is to correct that.
correct it. It says
Is to
do it.
correct it.
I like the way the scripture brought it out. It says do it immediately. It says be quick to settle matters. Be quick to do it.
Yep,
Because
and that's what I did. Yep,
that's
I did that. I was quick trying to trying to settle a matter. Yeah. So that's what I did.
so I hope that all this was very uh, knowledgeable for those that don't understand what forgiving really is. Forgive
Mm-hmm.
for one, not bringing it back up. Forgiving is freely forgiving from the heart. Not just a figure of speech. Okay, I forgive you. Do you forgive me? Yes. No. Forgiving someone is really thinking about it. It's pondering over it, meaning that you think deeply about it, and understanding that you're being forgiven on a daily basis due to the sacrifice of Christ for all men, red, white, blue, yellow, don't make who you is,
Exactly.
for all time.
Exactly.
All
Exactly.
we have to forgive y'all, and we have to if we struggle with it because we're inclined to do what is bad. We're not inclined to do what is good. So if we're struggling with it, then we need to pray about it, because our salvation is
Mm-hmm.
it's
You're
important.
so right. That is so right. You got to pray about it. If you're struggling with it, if somebody wronged you 4 years ago, or 8 months ago, or 2 months ago, or 3 weeks ago, or 9 years ago, you got need to pray about it.
Yeah, you need to
But
pray.
I can tell y'all, it's no good when you holding it. 5 to 6 years, I harbored that, and I'm telling y'all, I didn't even understand that I was harming myself.
Mm.
But I allowed that's somebody power to take over me. You mentioned that person's name, I'm like literally damn near get sick to the stomach. Like, oh God, don't mention that name. And my whole day will be messed up. No lie. No lie. I
That's
went
a
through that about
whole
five,
lot.
6 years.
I've seen family of people's not spoken for years and gotten old. These things have happened when they was real young and they ain't spoken for years and then they done got old.
But do you know why though? Do the people know why, or just because well, I ain't calling you, or you ain't calling me, you ain't come to see me, I ain't come to see you. I mean, it. Come on, life is too short.
Then that don't make you no better than them.
It yeah.
Don't
People say
make
that too.
you better than me. Then you doing the same thing I'm doing.
So I want you to bottom line this, Janet. We get ready to end it. I want you to bottom line it and close us out.
Oh, you gonna make me bottom line it.
Yes, we're gonna bottom line this.
Well, we want to, y'all. We want to be quick to settle matters. We don't want to harbor injury. We don't want to turn into callous. Remember, I told you about them rusty feet that have that skin and it'll be tearing up your sheet. We don't want it to turn into callous where it's so hard that you can't even chisel through it. You see what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
want to get that off our chest early on. And for those that have been, someone has asked you to forgive them, forgive them. Forgive them because God forgives you each and every day because we sin and we offend God each and every day of our lives. We do it. And we got to show that love and we got to keep on putting up with one another, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Freely forgiving. Just like Miss
That's
Angela,
the word. Freely.
she freely went to her significant other and said, forgive. When she did that, she got back the power of who she really is. She became Angela Johnson,
Sure did.
no longer in prison, because that's what it does when you
I'm
forgive.
telling y'all,
But
I
when you
did.
don't forgive, you can might as well just not even don't even, you don't even need to pray about it because he says it in the scripture that you can leave it there. Bring your prayers and leave it right there. Go back, fix it, come back. Just now say, here, my Lord.
There you go. That's the bottom line right there. That's the bottom line right there. Go leave it right here. But now you go on over there and handle that. Then you come on back
Then
and
you,
say, here you go.
that's,
Bottom line it.
that's
Thank
it.
you so much. Close it out, Janet.
And with that being said, you guys continue to like and share this podcast, this talk show, because it's very informative. It's very important. We have to keep on building and encouraging each other. It's very educational. You don't know what you're gonna get here, okay? Because everything goes right here. We have Wednesday night. What's on your mind is venting
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
time.
Um, also starting Wednesday, we got what's on your mind is venting time, but we also gonna have it where testimonial time.
Ooh.
Testimonial time. So if you had something that was just awesome and you want or you've been through something and you want to tell your testimony about it, yes, yes. Started this coming Wednesday, 1 o'clock. What's on your mind is venting time and testimonial time.
And you
And
gotta
that we do got a guess.
tell them what time you said 1 o'clock is at
One
Easter.
o'clock.
Easter.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So now I don't know about the Pacific. I haven't got that. So it's 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Right.
So that means it would be 2 o'clock.
They have to figure out their own. They gotta know where they're at.
Yeah, so 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Tell me 7 o'clock, I go 6. I put that on the thing.
You already know exactly. So y'all tune in. If you got a testimony you want to share, you want to come up and briefly share. Let me say this: if you don't want to show your face, you still can come up and just have your avatar showing and tell your testimony. That's fine too. We would never make you feel uncomfortable in here.
No,
We get it.
no, we don't
With that
discriminate.
being said,
So y'all have a good time with the rest of your Saturday because I had a blast on my Friday. I tell you that, and I
yeah,
had a good Saturday too. And we'll see y'all again next time. Until then, y'all continue to like and share and spread the love. Okay.